Blessed be everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are talking about the Hanged Man card. This could be a message for you. It could be some advice, or it could simply be telling you what's going on for you at the moment. But before we dive into the meaning of the card, I'm Sandra from MysteryWitchSchool.com, author of the Confident Tarot Reader course. So if you do want to read tarot confidently for yourself or other people, do check out the Confident Tarot Reader course. There's a link in the description field below this video. This channel is also about all things magical and positive witchcraft. So if you're interested in shadow work as well as magic, then take a look at some of the other videos and make sure that you do subscribe and share the videos as well. Today we're talking about the Hanged Man card, which can be a little bit of a mystery sometimes when it pops up in a reading. Traditionally, it was all about delays and suspension and sacrifice. And the last thing you probably want to see in readings is something about sacrifice, because we associate sacrifice with having to give up something, and it's usually associated with not wanting to give that thing up. But this card can mean sacrifice. It can mean giving up an old idea to take time to turn something around or see things from another perspective. So sacrificing one thing in order to see something new, something different. This can be a card of somebody who's a little unusual, who doesn't see things the way other people see things, or who goes against maybe the mainstream or the trend at the time or the narrative at the time. The reason they do that is because they can see things from another perspective. That person has the flexibility to be able to see things differently. So when this card turns up, it could be asking you to be more flexible in how you're looking at something. Take some time out, so it can be a card of delays. Slow things down and have a look at all of the other aspects of the situation. It could be putting yourself in somebody else's shoes and seeing why they might be doing what they're doing, or saying what they're saying, or believing what they're believing. And open yourself up to a broader perspective. This card is about thinking more big picture, thinking more abstractly, and not getting so caught up in being in a very narrow, closed-minded view about something. And this does mean sacrifice. It means sacrificing your point of view or sacrificing a situation in order to find another way to go about doing it that might actually broaden your horizons, broaden your perspective, and open new doors and new opportunities and even new people to come into your life. So this card, in its positive aspect, can be all about that. It doesn't have to be about sacrifice in the negative sense. There's always something good that can come out of it. And when the tarot is involved, particularly from a coaching perspective, we try to look at the good that can come out of a situation. Like, what's the upside of this? What's the upside of you turning yourself upside down and seeing things from a different perspective? When you look at the image on this card, we see that there's a character hanging from what looks to be like a cross, a wooden cross of some sort. There is greenery at the edge of the cross, which can symbolize fertility and growth. So that's a very positive energy. The character is wearing yellow shoes and red tights, a blue top or tunic, and there's a halo of yellow. So we've got those colors of yellow, which is the intellect, thinking, communication, and also a very positive and joyful color. We've got the red of passion, and we've got the blue, that watery energy of intuition and emotion with the blue. And so you've got three of the elements there, with the air element represented by yellow, the fire element represented by the red, and the water element represented by the blue. And then they're hanging from a tree with the greenery on it representing the element of earth. So you've got the four elements being represented in this card. So we can also be looking at balance with this card. having to sacrifice something in order to achieve better equilibrium and better balance. The figure in this card, the Waite-Smith deck, doesn't look concerned. They look quite relaxed. It's like they're hanging around. They're just hanging about, much like a bat would hang in a tree. So they're not disturbed by what it is they're doing. They're taking it quite casually. So this card can be saying that, maybe you need to hang around for a little bit longer for something. Don't rush into a decision. Hang around a little. Or maybe hang around to get more of a sense of what something is. If there's something in your life that you're new to in some way. It can mean get a different perspective on things. It can mean a total 180-degree turnaround. So you might find that something's happened and you thought this way, and now because of something's happened, there's new information that's been brought to light. You've done a complete 180-degree flip over to the other side that you may have not ever thought you'd do, and seeing things from a totally different perspective and a totally different angle. That can be something this card will bring up as well. So don't be surprised if that happens in the next few days, that you do this 180-degree flip. So there's some of the meanings of the Hanged Man in a positive way. I think of the tarot as being a source of information, and when you're looking at it from a coaching perspective, which is how I treat the cards, it's trying to find the way that these cards can help you in a situation, rather than it being all doom and gloom that tarot readings often made out to be, particularly from more the older times of tarot reading, where if the hangman came up, it'd be, oh, there's delays, oh, it's probably not going to happen, oh, there's going to be some deep sacrifices here. And then it would be, all doom and gloom. Try to see it from a perspective of, well, what do I do with this information? How do I make something positive from this? How do I make this a growth situation? Sometimes you have to dismantle things in order to create something new. Sometimes you do have to do a 180-degree flip to see another perspective in order to do something better for yourself or others. Sometimes you do have to look at things upside down and see things from a different perspective. This card reminds me of when I was a child. I used to love hanging from my knees on trees or monkey bars and just seeing things from a different perspective, getting a bit of a head rush from the experience as well. It was just something I loved to do as a child because, you don't usually get to see the world from that perspective unless you hang upside down on a tree. So there's a childlike quality to this too, for me, simply because of my experiences as a child hanging upside down on trees. And find ways to enjoy this card and the message that this card has for you today. If you do want to become a confident tarot reader, so you're tired of being confused by what all of the cards actually mean, you feel stuck in your learning of how to read the cards, can't get out of your head and into feeling and understanding the stories that these cards tell, do take a look at my course, The Confident Tarot Reader. There is a link in the description field below this video. If you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. I am Sandra from MysteryWitchSchool.com. Blessed be.